We don't like zombies. Hey guys, welcome back to the Heel Podcast, where Link is continuously on his phone, the same way as he was during the predictions video. What are you searching up this time? Is it boobs?
Yes.
As per normal.
Go through search history.
Right,
Boobs.
we sort of don't want to touch on it too much, but we'll just get to the point. We don't like zombies.
Look at this dude. Wait till you see the. No. Look at the top of his head. Look at his lips.
Yeah, we don't like zombies, but we had WrestleMania Backlash, and it's probably quite a good description of how it was.
I think you summed it up in one word last night. After the pay-per-view, someone asked us what was it like, and you went, skippable.
Yeah, I did.
Do you know what? The wrestling was incredible.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely incredible. Like, every single match was great. I don't think there was a bad match. Even the women's matches I enjoyed.
At the same time, you could easily have put this show across a Raw and a SmackDown, and like you could have had a really good week of like a Raw and SmackDown for wrestling. The thing is, it didn't add a lot to future. I don't think it's particularly added a crazy amount to future storylines. We'll get into it.
We've got the Seth stuff. That's about it.
Yeah, we didn't end with any new champions, but I don't know.
Yeah, we did.
We did. Marvel and Sung Tag Team are going to hate each other.
Oh, yeah, we did. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, I can see that now. I've just been absolutely blind and I'd forgot about it. I've slept since then.
I haven't.
We'll just start off with the pay-per-view on the pre-show, and it was kind of weird. We had Sheamus' open challenge, which the lads have told me about, and you've been telling me that it's been for title matches, and we go to a pay-per-view, and it's not for a title match. It's like...
That threw me straight away. And I was like, are they going to bring someone out really strange here? Because they're like, yeah, and this one's not an open challenge, but not for the title. Mm-hmm. The US Open Challenge, not for a title. Like, really?
Yeah. The thing is, you sort of we mentioned it maybe later in the night, but how good would it have been just to have thrown Pat McAfee into that spot instead of Ricochet?
I was saying that. How good would it have been just for him to stand up and try and blindside Sheamus to set up a future storyline?
Yeah, it would have been good. I'm a massive fan of Pat McAfee. It's not a secret to anyone. So, it's...
And the thing is, he doesn't even have to wrestle for a while yet. If he just started doing sneak attacks on Sheamus and just start building a storyline, just do a slow build. Yeah, it's been quite cool.
I mean, obviously it was only announced just before the show, or maybe during SmackDown. I can't remember. But we all thought that was going to be a Sheamus win anyway, and it's exactly the way it went. Although the thing is, you could have stuck somebody on that to actually beat Sheamus and set up a proper feud for him. Because where are they? From what I can work out on that US title, the only future it's got is the Open Challenge, which is great, which is cool. But as long as that's not all they have planned for the current, if there is an actual end goal, because let's be fair, WWE have started something and then they've never known how they've not known how to finish it.
To be fair, the Open Challenge, it's fair for them to not have an end goal with that. No, they didn't have an end goal with it when Cena was doing it, and it was great.
Right,
so
I think that is the end goal.
As long as they're putting out good matches with it, then yeah, I'm quite happy with them not having an end goal with that just yet. At some point, I'd like them to have a good, well thought out, booked champion to take the belt from Sheamus, because that's obviously what's going to happen eventually.
Or even a little back and forth feud.
Yeah, but in the meantime, I'm quite happy for the open challenge. I enjoy open challenges. I think they bring that element of just, what's going to happen? Because it could be any week.
Mm-hmm.
There's no guarantee. You don't know when it's going to pop and something big's going to happen. It could be any time. So I like the open challenge stuff.
I think the story writes itself. They're going to have that week on week, every single week until the one person they want's ready to come back and things work out, and then he's going to get a massive pop because you won't see.
Are you
him.
sure about that?
Yeah, no, I think we've all said this. And probably going to be around the SummerSlam mark, I reckon.
Yeah.
But
It'll carry on for ages, and all of a sudden he's musical hit, and you've got this face Cena come out, and it's going to be a massive pop, and that's his return.
But
It makes a lot of sense.
I can actually see the Cena still coming back and then still losing, no problem now. I don't think he doesn't even need to win a minor title. He doesn't need to win the major title. He's more than capable, and he does it. He's done it quite a lot since he's had a lot of stick for it in sort of his Super Cena years, and then he sort of fizzled out towards his break. But he put over a lot of people in that time, didn't he? A lot of people.
He did.
Well, obviously we had Super Cena before that, but that's how you make the superstars. You look at the main event. Roman Reigns is kind of got the Super Cena stage.
I think my dream would be Cena comes, gets it back, and then the Miz gets it. I want to see the Miz with a belt or Kevin Owens, someone.
Miz is his IC title for me. He always has been, always will be. And I think Miz probably deserves to hold the record for the most IC titles as well.
Yeah, Miz is not US for me. Do you know what? I wouldn't be unopposed to Kevin Owens, but if we have Kevin Owens on the US, I'd quite like to see like a heel Owens with it, the whole. Because I think he sort of did it before, where it was the whole he's the Canadian champion,
yeah,
and like he just starts calling it the Canadian Championship instead.
I think the only other one I'd like to see to get massive heat, which you would, is Jinder come down and take that belt. But he'll be the US champion.
The thing is that like, there's no point taking a US belt from a foreign person. It's going to be an American to take it. It's going to be, because at the end of the day, Sheamus isn't American, so it's already held by a non-American.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get heat by taking it off.
Do you know
an American person to put it onto a non-American person when it's
just
already
think-
held
no,
by a
I think
non-American person?
the whole Jinder thing at the minute, he's building that storyline of the old Sergeant Slaughter kind of faction.
Sorry. Carry on.
Yeah, it's just that whole faction. That faction he's doing, I could see him really getting some heat just digging at Americans again.
I think everyone's kind of in love with Sergeant Slaughter's storylines at the moment, aren't they? We've got General Adnan, and we've got the it's just
The weird one.
By the way, I'm still confused as to why that Fatal 4-Way wasn't on that pay-per-view.
That would have been the best match for me.
Because that's going to be fantastic. Why they've put it on SmackDown and not on that pay-per-view is baffling to me.
Yeah, it is.
The only way I'm thinking people are going to be watching SmackDown for that.
But the thing is, if it seems to be that Raw's struggling for the ratings at the minute, and the viewing, it's like if that had been like on Raw, I would have understood if it's like, hey, that's their way to get their numbers back up.
Yeah.
But I mean, realistically, SmackDown is the one that gets watched, and the SmackDown, if I'm right, is still on Fox in America as well.
They're both on. Yeah.
Are they both on Fox now? I don't think.
No, it's. Oh.
Because
do you know what? I don't know
if it is on Fox, because I think over in America, Fox is like sort of the big daddy sort of channel.
I think it is just SmackDown.
So I mean, that helps them, of course, with their American viewership anyway, for sure. That you have it on the Big Daddy channel. But yeah.
I mean, they're all. It's relative, isn't it? You know, they're all big channels in their own way. Like, you know, the USA Network is also quite a big one, and that's obviously where they are with Raw. So it's
yeah. They're not. Then honestly, they're not. They're not small. They still mess all over all of our channels over here. Let's be fair, with financial.
Yeah, with the exception of maybe the BBC, but that's because they charge you even if you don't watch it. Thanks, government.
Yeah. What a weird turn.
It's true though, isn't it? What a weird system that is.
Should we start the actual pay-per-view now? We've not actually started the pay-per-view at all yet. We've done the preview. You don't want to? Okay.
No.
Right. Thank you very much, guys.
Bye, guys.
Please leave a like, share, subscribe, and we will catch you in the next one. we did our prediction show at the weekend. No, we didn't. We did it before the weekend, didn't we? We did it before SmackDown.
And we did it on like Wednesday, I think.
Yeah, and I think it came out Thursday or Friday. I can't remember when it actually came out. But we
Friday it came out.
Okay, so we announced our punishment, which is the loser has to do a wax strip on each leg. I didn't explain it very well on the last predictions video, but so one on each leg.
One strip each leg.
But they've got to put it themselves, so it's gonna, in theory, gonna hurt more. Kind of was doing this because one on each leg, and it's like, well, maybe we could come back to this one in a few years and we'll up it. So be a big bad boy one.
Maybe we can't.
Maybe we can. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. These are literally the options, Link.
Maybe we definitely will.
You've just gone, it could, or it could not. It could, something.
It won't.
Maybe it definitely will.
Well, I tell you what, seeing as we know that now, I'm going to start beating my legs. Like just
all the time?
Just permanently, I'm going to have shaven legs.
No, but hold on, me and Cam is actually talking. And if you do, I reckon as a punishment, you should have to your chest.
I'll be like a cyclist. I'll do that too. Okay.
The next time I'll see him, he'll just be like oiled up and he'll just be
oiled
like a
up.
slug rolling around the floor.
Nobody hair.
This is how I travel.
Nobody hair. I'm even going to shave my eyebrows off just so you can't attack them. Just gone.
But leave your hair for now.
I've got to, haven't I, unfortunately.
Do the beard.
Although Pete hasn't.
Fuck off and leave my beard alone. No, he hasn't, has he? He definitely hasn't.
Right. First show of the match? No, that's not right. First match of the show. We had the Raw Women's Championship, Rhea, Asuka, Charlotte Flair.
We did. It was a good match.
I mean, we were talking a lot through this. We were setting up over on our live stream on twitch.tv/The Heel Project. But the match was really good.
It was really, really good.
Was there a couple of dodgy spots, but
it's the end is always the most important bit of the match. The bit you always remember.
That's right. I remember
what the hell happened.
Yeah, why? I don't understand how Charlotte didn't just get in the ring and break up the pin. Like it was very
maybe
strange.
It was the force of her own kick that pushed her off the apron.
Yeah, like she kicked Asuka in the face, which then led her into the riptide from Rhea, which helped Rhea win. But Charlotte didn't just get in the ring after she'd kicked her in the face and follow it up. She just disappeared. It's like, what?
There and went, yeah, that looks really good. Well done, Rhea. Oh, crap, yeah. I'm in this match. This is the singles and I'm not ringside.
Very weird. I don't get that logic.
Good match, but yeah, that spoiled it for me. And that's the bit I always remember the ending.
Yeah, it's... But the match itself was fantastic. Charlotte was, usual Charlotte, where she's just absolutely brilliant. Rhea was brilliant. Asuka was brilliant. I don't think there was many particularly sloppy spots. We praised the camera work as well because they did well with the camera work
until that last
bit.
Yeah.
Well, they did well with the camera work to hide the issue with Charlotte's moonsault because obviously she always lands a little bit out, which isn't a bad thing. It's better than her landing on top of
Very
people
safe.
Breaking their neck, which has happened.
The thing that I was a bit worried about was they were going to focus on Charlotte and Rhea too much, and it was going to kind of make Asuka look bad.
I mean,
they didn't. They
kind of did. It's why
they still made her look quite strong. She had a few little good spots in there where it looked like, hold on a minute, could she win this?
Maybe. I mean, every time she locked in the Asuka lock, I was fully expecting the whole backwards bridge thing, where they pin her because she's like, oh, I can't let go of this hold while I'm getting pinned.
In fact, there was one point where it was quite predictable because you even went, oh, big boot coming. 2 seconds later, big boot from Charlotte.
Yeah.
To the weird double pin attempts.
Yeah, and Asuka couldn't actually kick out of because there was actually too much weight on her shoulders from Charlotte. Because I mean, she's obviously not a big girl, but she's probably got quite a lot of weight to her.
Yeah.
On somebody's shoulders would be quite difficult in that position.
The match worked though. It was fun for what it was, and it just if you could look aside from the negatives from the match was actually fantastic.
Yeah.
Rhea obviously coming back out, continuing a championship reign. I think it's the right decision going forward. She's going to obviously have a match with Charlotte, probably inside the Hell in a Cell, which will be fantastic. Can you imagine Charlotte and Rhea in the cell? Like, that's going to be something special. Because I don't think Charlotte's had a cell match yet.
Leave your mic alone. What are you doing?
Sorry, fiddling.
Yeah.
We've seen Rhea in like War Games. We've seen her in cages and that. So it's going to be. She can definitely handle herself in a cage.
Mm-hmm. I don't think we've seen Charlotte inside a cage yet at all. So, I don't actually.
Charlotte inside a cage.
Yeah.
Did she not fight Sasha Banks?
I thought she did.
Cell? I think they were the first ever
Hell in a Cell
against Sasha Banks.
Was it Charlotte? I know it was Sasha. I thought it was Sasha and Bayley.
Bayley. I think it was Bayley.
No, I got a feeling it was Charlotte. I'll have a look.
Or even Sasha and Becky. I didn't think
could have been
Charlotte.
Hell in a Cell. Well, it's come up with Hell in a Cell Daily Motion, which means somebody's obviously searched it. Yeah, no, I was right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, I'm being stupid.
2016, very first one.
Yeah.
It was actually main event. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I reckon Charlotte and Rhea would make a good cell match.
I think Charlotte will put on a pretty devastating cell match, whoever she's against. So I'm looking forward to it. The one thing I can really take from that match is how strong suddenly we're starting to look again with the women's Raw division. If you consider the fact that you've got those three, you've then got Shayna, who's obviously on Raw. We've got,
seen as they've just had them lose the titles as well, which we haven't mentioned.
We got Nia over there, Naomi, Mandy Rose. There's Nikki Cross is on there. Lana's still there. Lacey's yeah, I'm just going upwards. Lacey's obviously on maternity and was on Raw last. Eva Marie, who's coming in, but obviously we don't think she's.
I think she's going to be manager personally.
It makes more sense. We still got Dana, Charlotte, Becky, who was last on Raw. I mean, maybe we'll see her come back.
I think she's going to SmackDown, to be honest.
And then you've got Asuka and Alexa Bliss. But that is a good division. That is a strong women's division.
It is a good division.
So it bodes well now, especially adding Rhea into that mix, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised as well if we see Io Shirai come to the Raw roster as well soon to probably team up with Asuka. Seeing as they seem to like putting people together of the same nationality.
Mind you, I've just seen the SmackDown women's roster is very, very thin. So Io would kind of make sense to be up there because then she could go towards the actual singles. So.
Well, I mean, I still reckon they'll put her in a tag team. They'll just have it as a cross-branded tag team because tag teams are on both brands.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. There's nothing to stop that happening. So that's the possibility. But yeah, it was obviously that was.
I hope they don't. They've tried it before and it doesn't work.
No, I think they're gunny though.
They've tried lots of things before that don't work. They still do.
Yeah. So we briefly mentioned the fact that
zombies.
Shayna and Nia have lost the title. I don't want to say it, lads.
Natalia and the daughter of the guy that murdered someone.
It's
Tamina.
It does very much feel like, hey, you guys have been about for a really long time and you haven't had titles for a little while. What a title!
Tamina has had a title never. 11
Because nobody's meaner than Tamina.
Tamina's never had a title.
In 11 years, it was the first title she won.
Jesus. No, it's technically the second.
Yeah, she won the 24/7 belt.
Technically, it's the second. But yeah, the ones that actually mean something.
11 years.
Do you know why though?
She's crap.
She's terrible.
Do you know what else? She's
got all the charisma of a dead fish.
It's because she never had the tattoo till recently.
Yeah. Or superpower tattoo.
We said that. That's what done it. We said that once she got the tattoo, she changed.
Did she win with her knockers out? Because we noticed that she started suddenly wrestling better since then they changed her attire to have her boobs more.
Yeah, so she had more cleavage to her attire. That was it. She was on top. Like, no, as far as I know, she was pretty well covered up over the pay-per-view. I can't. If I'm deadly honest, I didn't pay any attention to this match.
No, I don't even know what it was.
It wasn't on the pay-per-view.
No, it was on SmackDown.
I didn't pay much attention to it. But I don't think so.
It was a heavy weekend we had, and that was part of a heavy day.
It was.
Fair enough, lads. So I went Rhea on that one, going back to the Raw Women's Championship match. So I actually took a 1-0 lead to begin with, which was nice. It felt good.
Which was good considering you only went with Rhea because we went with the others.
No, Pete. Let's make this one clear. I was going Charlotte or Rhea because I'm not a dumbass. I was never going Asuka, but because the fact that Link went first, went Charlotte, I was like, okay, I'm going to lean towards more Rhea. I'll see what Pete says. If Pete, you definitely went Rhea. If you went Rhea, then I would have had a difficult decision to make. I would have never have gone Asuka.
Who goes Asuka? Who in their right mind looks at that picture and goes, yeah, it's going to be Asuka.
I thought change it up a bit, mix it up a bit.
They wouldn't have put it on Rhea to then take it off of her in 6 weeks. Personally, not from the same person that she lost it to. But yeah. We then had the Dirty Dogs versus the Mysterios. We
did.
It's frustrating this because I want so much more from Dolph Ziggler.
Do you know what though? This was a great match. It had a great. It wasn't a great story. It was a story that's been done. It's been done to death. For guys like us that have watched wrestling for 20 years, the story's been done to death. You know, the plucky underdogs that stay backstage until near the end of the match, and then they come out and they make the big difference maker, and then they end up winning the match, and it's the feel good moment, right? So for us, because we've been watching wrestling for 20 odd years, that's not that entertaining. For the new kids that have never seen that spot done before, that genuinely, you know, are still invested in this whole thing, and they saw Dominic get taken out backstage. That's a big deal to see Dominic. You know, he's been taken out. Right, he's gonna have to do it all on his own. This is heartbreaking. He's just gonna get slowly beaten down. Oh my God, Dominic's here. Yeah. What? You know, it's that big sort of surge, and I completely understand why they still do this because it was a good spot.
Coming to save his dad.
It's just for us personally, because we've seen it so many times, it wasn't so as entertaining. Right. You've kind of got to separate our personal thing with that and look at it as what it is, which is, you know, entertainment for everybody, not just us.
It would have still been really good though if Dominic did have knuckle dusters.
You just wanted to see him come out and beat Ray up. It was really weird. You wanted Chavo with him.
I did.
To be honest, I'm surprised you didn't go. I wanted Vicky to turn up from AEW and start help Dominic to win the championship.
I did want to say I'm doing it for my dad, and then just point up at Eddie.
Yeah,
I wanted to see. I think Pete wanted to see Nicholas walk down with Dominic to go and help Ray, and just have the whole shebang, and have a historic tag team champion to come out and help Dominic. Pete, you were talking some rubbish last night, mate, about this one.
But
I really want to see heel Dominic, and I don't want to see heel Ray.
It's going to happen. We're going to get heel Dominic. I'm sure of it.
If we, as I said on the predictions, I think we could easily end up with a heel Ray, but it won't be as a heel Ray as a wrestler.
It'll be a manager.
If he was going to do it, it'd have to be that he would be. I don't know. Maybe just we get to a point where he gets enough of Dominic being beaten down backstage before his matches, and then that's what happens. I think that's what could happen. Something like that. But at the end of the day, I'm not upset that we've got the Mysterios now as champions because Dolph and Robert Roode being the champions were...
Well, no one knew they were the champions.
That's it. I forgot when we were at Mania. They didn't even mention the fact. Although there was a very, very brief moment. They were like, hey, this happened on Friday night.
Yeah, they were pretty they just weren't mentioned really. They weren't talked about. It was just a thing that was happening over on SmackDown, which was fine, but it wasn't a big deal for them to be the champions, and hopefully the Mysterios will make it a bigger deal because they are the champions and it's the first father-son tag team champions. It's a big deal to them because of that. Bully Ray tweeted out earlier on today. It's a big
thing to the whole industry, to be fair, that we've had a father-son.
What's that?
Bully Ray tweeted out earlier on today saying it's the stupidest thing they ever did was putting the titles on Dominic and Ray at Backlash. And I agree.
At Backlash? Why?
At Backlash.
Should have happened at Mania.
Because it should have happened at Money in the Bank next month, which is on Father's Day.
What, Money in the Bank is?
Yeah.
Well, hang on. When next month is Hell in a Cell now.
Yeah.
Oh,
moved it.
the month after. Whenever.
Okay.
Money in the Bank is on Father's Day.
Okay, just checking where we were at with that.
That's the day that Dominic screws Ray.
It's possible.
Call it now. He'll screw him on Father's Day. So they'll make a big thing of it, and Dominic will turn on Ray.
But yeah, they should have waited until Father's Day and had him win the belts there. I think it would have been better. But I get why they're doing it. They want to give them a little bit of a run before the Usos take the belt off them.
Yeah. I just want to see something happen for Dolph and Robert Roode now. For somebody that was, there's no secret on here that I was a big TNA fan back in the day, and Robert Roode was a big part of that. It's so sad to see somebody like Robert Roode. I know he's had championships. He's had the tags. He's had the US. Did he? I think he did. He's had the NXT championship. I think he had the US.
I think he'll be someone's level. That's the level I want to see the US.
I can't remember. It's in my head, but it might be like I always thought that Kevin Owens won the WWE championship, but he never did. It's just one of those things. I picture it with it, but I may be wrong. But I wanted to see. I don't know. I want to see more from him, as such, and I definitely want more from Dolph. I don't want Dolph around the tag team championships anymore. He's been there for 3 years now, essentially round just the tags, and can we have a switch up? Because I even somebody like Dolph or Roode going for Sheamus now. Going for the Open Challenge would be quite good. Because are they on the same show? Is that the right way round? That might not be the right way round though.
Yeah, that's SmackDown.
So
Lumberjack
Wait,
was
Sheamus is Raw.
Sheamus is Raw.
Bobby Roode, I don't know what I feel about that. It's just I really think there's better people coming through that I'd rather see have a run than Bobby Roode now.
Well, this is it. The thing you've got to remember is you can't have everyone in the main event.
Yeah, and there's people coming through now.
There's so many people that should be in the main event that are going to have to be in the next tier down, which is obviously United States Intercontinental divisions. So, because of that, you guys that should just be solid mid-carders that are going to stay in mid-card are going to be pushed further down by the people that should be top tier, but are having to be mid-card because they can't be in the top tier 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
The roster's just so stacked on that top end that it's pushing everybody slowly down. And the people that are solid mid-carders, and they are solid mid-carders, like Robert Roode, like you say, should be a solid, he should be Intercontinental Champion, United States Champion, same with Dolph Ziggler. But because there's so many people in that top echelon.
Oh yeah, if it's going to end up with those two being pushed onto not much on the singles thing, then it's probably separate them.
If they were separated, they'd be on main event, mate. They wouldn't be on the roster.
Yeah, so
I was about to say, these are people I'd like to see where we get people going over to Raw and SmackDown. A couple of them going over to NXT, and I really think people like Bobby Roode would do well there.
Well, he did do well there. He was champion.
Yeah, no, I think going back as well, like they've done with Finn. I think it'll be the same kind of thing.
I think if they have a rejig once the World's Open again and they do all the house shows and stuff, and they look about getting NXT back as the third brand, which is obviously what's going to happen, then somebody like Robert Roode wouldn't do the company any harm by switching back over to NXT.
It's when they need to get back into loops, because at the end of the day, everybody's stuck in one place, so they're all available all the time for work, which isn't how it normally works. They do have time off.
Yeah.
They'll have a couple of months off here and there, and with the exception of like your main carders who are there constantly because they're the ones that bring in the money, so they have to be there. Your lower card guys will have a couple of weeks with. Your lower card guys will have a couple of weeks where they just won't be on the roster or won't be on the shows because they're not needed. And that's not happening at the moment because they're all there.
Yeah, I think. I mean, we've talked about it loads now, but the Dolph and the Robert Roodes, they're really good for the road shows because, let's say Bobby Lashley turns up or Roman Reigns turns up suddenly on one of the house shows, because they do from time to time. You have the champion turn up. They're really good ones to have as the impromptu
challenger
title matches.
Yes, absolutely.
The ones that obviously is never going to happen. There was never going to change.
But Dolph will bump like a crazy person for a champion and make them look like absolute solid gold.
Yeah.
And they love wrestling Dolph. Like guaranteed Dolph's one of the most popular people in the locker room to wrestle against because he'll make them look so good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's the same with Cesaro. I reckon that's why Cesaro is as high up the card as he is at the moment. It's because he's so good in the ring and making everybody else look so much better that everybody wants to wrestle him. And they kind of touched on that in the promos that they were doing before the pay-per-view and saying that, you know, he's well respected within the locker room. He's you know, looked up at from
That's
a lot
why
of
I
people.
want to see John Morrison have that little bit
Makes
of a run.
sense. John Morrison's another one. We'll sell the crap out of everything. Can jump around like a insanely athleticism on that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Again, another one that's getting on a bit as well now. We keep mentioning how many people that are sort of about the company, because Jeremy's 41 himself.
You'd never guess the way.
yeah,
the way
you
he
would
does what he
not.
does.
You would not think it because the way that guy can move.
Well, look what the whole Bad Buddy thing again.
Yeah,
Absolutely crazy.
It's mad. So we'll get on to this match now, the zombie one. But whilst we're on the topic of ages, do you realise, because we John Morrison out there as well, the three of those guys averaged an age of 39 and a half years.
wow.
That's quite a lot.
Apparently a couple of the zombies are quite old as well.
Because Pete, who is it you said that you've that was supposedly there?
Scotty Too Hotty was one of them. And it's when they actually show you the picture of who it is,
Not even
you actually look at it and
surprised.
go, yeah, definitely him.
Yeah, not even
It's so weird.
not even surprised.
He's doing a lot of work there anyway, isn't he?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
works out at NXT, doesn't he?
They said there was a couple of names that they've up and coming people and
It was,
people they've just got from different talents. But the one name that I recognised straight away was Scotty Too Hotty.
Well, the big guy that we all thought was what's his face, Dominic Dijakovic, wasn't it?
No, there was no other names that I
Was that not,
recognised.
was that not him?
No, they said there was different talent from other shows and like
Because he was a big
different.
guy. He was, but he
bits.
wasn't like crazy big, but he would have been like Dominic's size. So
No, he
They
was a
said there was
big dude.
different trialists and people like
fair
so.
enough.
There's people they're looking at.
Fair enough. But I mean, this match, lads, is so infuriating. I have noticed one thing. I'm glad that it is, even including Sheamus's match, they did make it the shortest match of the night. Thank God. It still went 7 minutes, but it was weird that we had a match that just plugs Batista stuff.
The thing is, they made it obvious what they were doing as well by actually going
Yeah.
getting John Morrison to go knock on the door and see them all. So you're like, right, we know what's happening now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of a way to defend this.
I can't.
Right, if we're going to criticise things that AEW do wrong,
Look, I
hold your
think,
hands up to this one.
I think the way I can do it is this, you know. So the Lumberjacks weren't a key part of the match. They were there, don't get me wrong, and the stuff after the match was happening, and it was story. It was story around the
They
match.
just led on Miz. It was weird.
It was story around the match, and the story around the match was not good.
Not good.
Okay.
Good save.
Not good. The match itself was actually quite good. Like they both actually put on quite a good match. It's
Miz and
despite
Damien Priest.
ignore the zombies, just look at the wrestlers, and the actual
That's-
wrestling was
that's the
actually quite
thing.
good.
I struggle to do that because of how bad the zombies were.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me
I
wrong.
struggle to even watch.
All right, I'm gonna say something really strong, and this includes the in your house ding dong doorbell moment with Johnny Gargano. But this, having the zombies included in that match, is the worst thing that WWE have done since Goldberg Taker.
Oh, it was. Oh, don't get me wrong. It was shocking. It was horrible. I
it was
completely
so
agree.
bad.
The
So
match
bad.
itself was good, but the angle, the spot around it was just dreadful.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, they should be ashamed of themselves.
There's one thing I want to know. What has the Miz done wrong?
I don't know.
He's won a belt and lost it straight away. He's had to dress up as a bunny. He's been involved in zombies.
He's lost to a celebrity as well.
Yeah, what has the
And
Miz
celebrity
done wrong?
matches make them a lot of money, though. To be fair,
I know, but if we're
Yeah.
still
But it
looking
seems
at
to
it as
be
a
the-
record, his recent record as an actual wrestler, obviously it's all
Yeah.
predetermined and all storylines crap.
Since he
But
cashed in, he's been.
His record looks awful.
yeah, it does. It does. But look, and I'm gonna flat out say this now as well. So the AEW pyro explosion.
Yeah.
The match was great. The match was great
The thing
before
was,
the
that
explosion.
was an accident what happened at the end.
Right.
It should have been sorted, but
the,
it was an
the
accident.
match itself was good. The explosion happened after the match. So you can kind of, if you can isolate the two, then that bit's just story, and we'll take that away and say the match was good, because it was.
That's what we criticised AEW. That was a mistake. That was an accident. This was planned.
The Jericho spot at Glove and Butts.
Glow and Butts, yeah.
Glove and Butts. Where he landed on a piece of cardboard on top of a mattress.
Just bad camera work.
It was bad camera work because WWE do the exact same thing. We discussed this on the stream.
The issue is the issue isn't what he landed on. It's just the way it was. Just like where the camera was placed. It was so. It showed just how thin was the thinness that he went through as well. So
but again,
after
the match, the match happened already. The match was great again, although. It was kind of teased that he was going to get thrown off, and that's the reason that they surrendered, because they didn't want him to get thrown off. And then he threw him off anyway. So, but yeah, it was after the match technically, so you can kind of just look past that as well. This was the whole match was just the story started obviously before the match with the Lumberjacks being introduced.
Just put anyone off just watching Batista's film full stop.
I won't watch it now. after seeing them ruin a pay-per-view.
Correct.
Just to support his thing, I just won't watch it because of that. And it's quite funny actually, because the first advert we saw for it, I went, "This actually looks quite interesting."
Yeah, and it's just left a sour taste.
But now I'm just like, I won't even watch it.
So Bianca Belair versus Bayley, the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Good save.
Bianca retained. Good match. We all went Damian Priest on the last one, and we all went Bianca on this one because, this one would have made more sense for Bianca to have won and then lost relatively straight away, because again it's against a different opponent, so it could have happened, but.
No, I don't think it would have made more sense. I think we went the right way.
I was on about in terms of Pete's prediction of Asuka.
All right, yeah.
Because she wouldn't have lost it to Rhea to then win it back 6 weeks later. Whereas Bayley could have won it tonight, because obviously Bianca won it off of Sasha.
Yeah, this one was more inclined to have something different happen, because it could have gone in DQ or interference or anything, count out, any of those things that the belts wouldn't have changed hands on. So this one was more susceptible to a different outcome than the championship changing hands. But we got just a straight match, didn't we? Really?
Yeah,
and it was good.
It's plain as that, isn't it? Plain as that.
Yeah, it was a good match from what I remember of it. I'm not going to lie, I don't remember an awful lot. I think I was still kind of fuming and probably talking about the
zombies
that we just watched.
Yeah.
So really good.
Again,
but there was botches without Sasha.
Botches
The
without
end
Sasha.
of the match was a big botch again.
So it was.
Oh, the botch with the hair spot, because he tried to wrap the hair around the leg.
But just that fell apart, and it was like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, almost a heel move from Bianca, and Bayley was almost a face in that situation. It's very strange, but
it was like they still sold it like Bayley's feet were tied.
Yeah,
so Bayley couldn't kick out even though there was no hair wrapped around it, and
But again, it's went exactly the way we was expecting. It doesn't do it any harm as such. It bigs Bianca up, because no matter what, we're still going to have Bayley up there at the top of the division. We're still going to have Sasha at the top of the division. We're likely going to probably, if you then add Carmella into that mix, well, there's probably your four that we probably got for the SmackDown division.
I think it was more frustrating for me just to have Bayley just go in knowing that what was going to happen. I said last night, what I want to do is have Hill Bayley go just get squash matches, but big herself up to be there with something amazing.
Do you know what? We call her heel Bayley, but she's not really that heel anymore.
I think that's when I liked her most.
I think she's so
She's over. That's the issue. If you,
She's so
it's
good
like-
that everyone likes
to,
her.
It's similar
Yeah.
to The Rock, isn't it?
Yeah. But I'd love to see remember just unknown people coming up and Bayley beating these unknown people in the ring, and then do like 10, 12 matches, and she's going on this amazing winning streak of going undefeated against nobodies. Have her building up that way for a title shot.
So, correct me if I'm wrong here, right? So, they were trying to make it look like Bianca was doing something that would have been classed as an illegal move by using her hair to tie the feet, yes?
I think that's what they were trying to do. That's what
Within the match, she's allowed to use her hair because it's part of her body part, but Bayley wouldn't be allowed to pull her hair because that's a rule. There's no hair pulling. There's no rule against using your hair as a weapon.
That's why it works so well for her, isn't it?
So technically, it's not a heel move, but they sold it like it was a heel move for her to have done it, and it was like it was an illegal thing. It's a very strange sort of grey area in wrestling, I guess, because I can't remember a time that a wrestler's ever used their hair to pin someone. It's not something I can say that I've seen in the past.
Maybe that's why Montez Ford was running about, Pete?
He was definitely there. Bush him as well.
No. I saw someone, Pete. I don't know why you assumed it was Montez Ford. just sort of like, definitely him.
Maybe he just likes being a ringside, eh? Wink.
Wow.
I am going to find a picture.
Wink.
Yeah, so that's that. We all went Bianca. We'll move on with the next one. We're on to the two final men's matches on the show. Bobby Lashley retaining against Braun and Drew.
This was a really good match. Really, really good match. I enjoyed it.
I missed
half
of it.
You guys missed half the match because you had internet issues and whatnot. I really enjoyed this match. It was exactly what you'd expect from three big dudes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we said it during the match, or I said it during the match anyway, that you've got these three big guys hitting at each other, and it's what you kind of wanted from wrestling in the first place. It's just two or three big dudes, just big meat. Look at all that beef, you know. It's back to the old Vince McMahon loves big dudes. Well, this is why, and I completely agree. I completely get it, because there's so much more impact watching someone the size of Drew McIntyre flipping about than there is watching someone the size of Ricochet flipping, because no one cares. Like, no one really cares. That's why no one watches 205 Live.
Yeah, you can flip about. You can flip about and you can land, but it's like, well, what power is that going to do?
Exactly. Like, you know, so if someone the size of Braun Strowman was doing the stuff that they do on 205 Live, everyone would watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone. That's money right there. But, you know, 205 Live gets hardly any viewers at all. It's not because it's bad, and those guys are hella talented, and congratulations to them. It's just not as entertaining because it's not as amazing.
Do you know what?
You know,
205 Live, it's harsh to say, but it is better on the indies because you are facing the majority smaller dudes. The majority of the big guys, especially in America, are taken by the big companies.
Yeah.
That can move, and then you're left with guys that are a bit smaller than you, a bit smaller than them, and you're not facing as big dudes. So some people that are being described as the big dudes on the indies are 5, 6, 7, 8 inches shorter than the average sort of person in around the main titles in WWE and even to some extent AEW now.
Another favourite bit.
What's your favourite bit then?
The ref.
The ref.
The ref in this match.
Oh, it was tiny.
Looked absolutely amazing. And right at the beginning, pushing them back, and they're going backwards because that little ref is pushing them back.
Yeah, he's it's a weird one. So I've seen him against I think he refereed the AJ Omos match at Mania, and so against Omos he looks tiny, obviously really, really tiny. But against AJ, it wasn't that much difference. Like, he looked short, but it didn't look that much short. This is where things came into play. So what we worked out at this point is that because I'd got the Rhea won, right? And we'd only sort of worked it out at this point, and I could have worked this out from the very start. I only had to get the Rhea one right, and the lads would have been doing the punishment regardless. Wouldn't have mattered because Pete and Link then had the same for the rest of the pay-per-view.
At this point, you were winning, weren't you?
I was winning, and then obviously Bobby winning meant that I then drew back level. So going into the final match, the Roman Reigns versus Cesaro match, I obviously needed a Cesaro win because I went to Cesaro for entertainment purposes. I said that. I knew damn well it was going to be Roman. I could have just gone Roman and been really boring. And I mean, we might have,
to be
we
fair,
would have actually had somebody to host.
You did say you thought it would probably be like a disqualification or something. You didn't see him getting the belt.
Cesaro, yeah, there was no chance he was getting an actual win. It would have been bizarre. And obviously Cesaro lost by submission in the end. But boys, that was a really good match.
He lost by TKO.
They're saying it's not even a submission.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, he didn't tap out.
Okay.
They're saying he passed out, so it's not a submission.
Yeah, TKO.
Okay.
The referee stoppage, essentially.
But either way, really good match.
He lost.
It was a fantastic match.
It was everything I wanted.
It was Cesaro. Cesaro is just fantastic. Look, I think we all kind of built our hopes a couple of times during the match, thinking that Cesaro may just do it, and it was, we had that moment where we suspended our disbelief, which is what wrestling is all about.
Yeah, it makes you think that he could actually do it. In reality,
I was a bit concerned that zombies had got him because he come out with the fangs.
He did have the fangs, didn't he?
That's a vampire.
Yeah, not zombie.
Yeah, but it was a bit of a strange night, so.
Fair enough. But yeah, I mean, it was good storytelling throughout. So me and I think Pete's on my side with this. I think maybe Link came across to it towards the end. But the arm spot was really good. I think it was planned from the start. So
still don't know.
He landed on his arm.
Is that good?
I think it was always planned that he was going to go for his arm because obviously Cesaro's had issues with his arms and shoulders before, hadn't he? That's why he used to wear all the tape. And he did he dislocate both shoulders at the same time? Something stupid. He had a really bad injury up there. So it made sense to play on that. But the only thing that played into that wheelhouse that it's like maybe it wasn't real, maybe it wasn't implanted, was that he caught his feet on the bottom rope or the middle rope.
So he got thrown to the outside. He caught his feet on the rope on the way down, and then landed awkwardly on his arm.
I think he was always heading towards that side of his body though, before he even clipped his feet, and so that's what makes me think. I think it was just planned.
I mean, maybe it just
was too much. It would have been too much for on the fly, considering what happened after the match as well.
And with the arm, we could look at it that everyone's going to come at him. But if he didn't injure his arm, maybe. So it still made him look strong. Just he almost beat Roman injured.
I don't know. You say it's too much considering what happened after the match, but they can call that stuff on the fly, like Gorilla.
That whole segment at the end was planned. It was going to happen anyway. And
but they might not have gone for his arm. He might have
to
just given him a
target
beat down with a chair. It's.
Yeah, I think it was the arm played a big thing, even for the Roman match. That the arm played down to the main bit of the match.
Yeah.
Don't forget, Cesaro went to go for a move, went for the clothesline, and basically it put him out because his shoulder was out in that much. He was rolling around in agony on the floor.
So, see, for me, because it was Cesaro, is the reason that I also think that it was planned, because it was all meant to be on the arm, because it's hard for him to do the swing. He can't do the swing with his arms buggered. Yeah. He can't do his neutralizer.
It don't mean a thing.
His uppercuts aren't going to be as strong.
The big thing for him was they didn't want to make him. We all wanted it to make him look strong when he loses, and that one supposed injury made him look strong still. Mm-hmm. So that's exactly what we wanted.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fantastic match, and I'm super impressed that Cesaro put out as much as he did, and I don't know, I still gutted that he didn't win, just because I really want to see Cesaro as the champion.
I still think it's elevated.
At least once. I do think at some point now, I do genuinely think at some point now we are going to see Cesaro as champion before he retires.
I think what could easily happen now is that in the next time they do a mix-up, we'll see maybe it move across the other side and end up being WWE champion over on Raw.
I don't think anyone's taking it from Roman for a long time.
Not for
I agree.
Not for a little while. And at the end of the day, going forwards, it makes more sense Roman having the belt anyway. Being head of the table. I mean,
Of course it does.
You're not head of the. You can't be head of the table if you ain't got the title. It's like we built all this up, and then suddenly you ain't got the title. It's like
it's not even that. It's your heel champion is always better than a face champion. It's easier to book a match around a heel champion than it is to book a match around a face champion.
Yeah,
it just is. It's a fact.
Yeah.
It's why most faces have small, short title reigns, because it's better to watch a face chase a title than it is to watch them win a title.
I still believe
yeah.
There's only 2 people that have beat Roman for that belt, and neither one of them are in the company at the minute. So I can't see it going anywhere for quite a while.
Possibly
at least
3.
till either Brock or Rock comes back. It's Brock or Rock. No, it's Brock or Rock. If Goldberg wins that, I won't be watching any more pay-per-views for a while.
I mean, you will.
If he beats Roman for it, hang on, hasn't Roman beat him recently?
Yeah, no,
that was Drew, wasn't it? Drew beat him.
The match didn't happen, did it? Because Goldberg didn't turn up, and they replaced him. No,
I can't actually remember.
Roman didn't turn up, and they replaced it with Braun Strowman. So it was the last Mania last year was supposed to be Goldberg versus Roman.
I really can't.
Oh, for that one, yeah. No, I was thinking when Goldberg literally's just come back, but that was against Drew.
I can only see Brock or Rock doing it.
Goldberg came back.
Yeah,
he did. He come back in, walked into the middle of the ring on that Legends
at Rumble. He was at Royal Rumble, and he put over Drew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You don't remember him walking down to the middle of the ring, past Hogan and all that lot?
No. Oh, yeah, and coming out and calling disrespectful despite the fact he was being nice about them all. Which was really weird. Yeah, I do remember that. That's dreadful.
Yeah.
Of course it was. It was Goldberg involved.
Hey, maybe they're just going to let him start putting people over now. If he's going to make a return and he's just going to put over people more, then cool. Just doesn't need a title.
And then we can have a 20-minute special of all his greatest matches.
He'll actually make it.
With all the ones he loses in.
But yeah, that rounded us out for the show. Of course, Cesaro not taking a win of some sort meant that I was doing the leg wax as well. Actually meant I came last in the end, which is really annoying. But as
didn't come last. Me and
we got a good little pop after that, though.
Yeah, well, as the rules state, if not one person wins, we all do it. So we're all doing it. But yeah, we did have a good pop.
If we don't get a winner, we've got 3 losers, essentially.
We haven't mentioned that is the fact that we had Jay come out.
Yep.
And he asked Roman's permission to beat down Cesaro, and he said, "Yeah, go for it." So
I really thought we were going to see Jimmy, and then it'll be a tag team match coming up in a cage.
Tag team champions that hit each other. What?
So they were appeared. I think it was at the start of the show. Towards the start of the show, wasn't it? It wasn't during the pre-show. It was actually backstage during the show. And Roman said, "Go with your brother or whatever." And he went off
because he said, "What if about Cesaro? What if Cesaro wins?"
Yeah, and Roman. Well, Jay's chosen Roman again. It just nullifies nullifies probably not the right word, might be. Just cements the position that Jay has below Roman now. So it's going to be interesting how that plays out with Jay. And then we had Seth come out, which we thought, Seth against Roman. Yeah, okay. And then Seth had a little moment where they looked at each other and they showed.
And I just called Seth Roman as well.
You had just called Seth Roman, and they showed each other a little bit of respect, which was nice. I don't want to see the Shield reuniting stuff at any point. Especially now that we've got one of them gone, it would make no sense. But it was nice that there was that was that little look, because it's like they have the history, so it was nice that they showed each other like a little bit of respect. And then Seth went and beat up Cesaro, which reignites their rivalry, which is always going to be great. Seth versus Cesaro, that's especially with no title, like he doesn't need one. It's a really good.
It worried me what they were going to do with Cesaro next, and Seth, I'm not disappointed with them two having a rivalry again. They both put really good matches on, and they'll both.
I'm not a Seth fan. I'm sure I've told you this before.
I really think he's still one of the best workers in the business.
I think
he's good. He's just not. I don't know. There's something. I just don't connect with him. I think that's my problem, and it is my problem. It's not everybody else's because a lot of people do, and fair play to them. I'm not a fan.
The thing is with Seth, no matter what, the Cesaro Seth thing, they're going to make each other look good, and it means because by making each other look good, well, Seth Rollins already has that status of his position in the company. If he demands a major title shot, then it's legitimate, like, and people can see the fact that he's going to get one. But if he's making Cesaro look good as well, that now puts Cesaro in that picture too, and it puts Cesaro back up, keeps Cesaro at the top end of the card, which I'm okay with. Not a problem. That sounds good to me.
I really want to see those two in the Money in the Bank ladder match. That kind of thing. I think they'll have good feuds, but there'll be really good individual spots in there.
I'd love to see Cesaro win the Money in the Bank and maybe cash in over on Bobby Lashley or whoever's the champion at the time. That'd be great. That's
definitely a possibility, isn't it? That'd be pretty cool.
I can't think who else I'd want to see as Money in the Bank this year, really.
Kevin Owens has done it.
I think they've used Kevin Owens to the point now where he's kind of been overused and he needs to kind of just disappear for a little bit, come back, refresh his character.
Cesaro would definitely give it a good run. I'd like that.
Yeah, Cesaro would be really good. I wouldn't mind seeing Dolph with it again.
I mean, if it gives him something else to do other than the tags, then I'm okay with it. But again, at the minute, Dolph winning the title,
the thing is
we end up with another Miz situation, don't we?
I was about to say, if he won it, it'll be very similar for me. The whole Willy Woney will be very Miz, what we've just had. Where Cesaro, I think, different.
It wouldn't put it past Jey Uso winning it.
I was about to say that, actually, funnily enough. I was literally just about to say that when I could see that easily happening. I could easily... I mean, if they... I wouldn't be... Or
even Jimmy, just to build him to the same level as his brother. I wouldn't be
as pleased putting on Jimmy, because obviously Jay's shown himself more as a single competitor recently, yeah.
But equally, that could be the reason to put it on Jimmy, is to put him up to that level with Jay.
There definitely is an argument for that, for sure.
There's a few good storylines I could go down with it.
Yeah. But
we could see Jimmy and Jay both in the ladder match.
Yeah.
I'd be interested in seeing them against each other, technically. I'm quite looking forward to that, both of you. But I mean, Hell in a Cell before that, though.
Yeah, yep. Well, that'll be where we are next, and that's hopefully going to be one of the last few ones that we're going to have without a crowd. I'm thinking we'll probably end up with Hell in a Cell. We'll end up with Money in the Bank, and then actually Money in the Bank might even be at half capacity or something, and then
they're looking at fans at
SummerSlam.
So lads,
fans back works for me. Yes, mate.
As of today, Monday the 17th of May. The world is open.
Yes.
Wow, UK is.
The UK world is open. SummerSlam.
Yeah.
We should do a meet for SummerSlam and probably do the podcast and stuff live for SummerSlam together if we can. I think that would be a good way to do it, and to literally broadcast straight from all three of us. And probably do an actual podcast live with us all in the same place for a change.
Providing it, like I said, mate, providing it's not the first week of August, then yep. There has been no confirmed date yet, but judging on previous ones, it's been sort of middle to
the end,
the last weekend. So, with a bit of luck, it's not the first week.
Normally the end.
Yeah. Sweet.
If it's the beginning of anything, I think it'll be the beginning of September, if anything. The end of August normally.
Yeah, I think that would be our window for us meeting back up at last,
and actually finally starting the Hill project as such.
Because we have never met up properly
since we did this.
Since we started this.
Well, you met each other very temporarily. Up in
for a day.
Yeah. We went out for one day in the woods essentially.
But we've never actually. Whoa.
That noise. Whoa.
The three of us haven't met up for a long time.
Well, I mean, it's been nearly 2 years since I've seen Dan.
32 years, wow.
It's nearly 2 years.
Oh, but they said 32 years. I was like, wow. Yeah, it probably has.
No.
Yeah, no, it has been. Yeah, mad.
I thought you said it's only been 2 years.
No, nearly 2 years. It will. In fact, SummerSlam, it will be 2 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's a good window.
Full show. Definitely. That'll be good fun. But But yeah, thank you for everybody that's watched this, listened to this. If you are listening on Spotify or on Anchor FM or whatever it's called, Anchor, it's just called Anchor, I think. Then make sure you come and find us on YouTube if you're not already. Drop us a subscribe over there. And yeah, just come and make sure you're with us on YouTube. And thank you very much, guys, for those that are watching on YouTube. Please leave a like, share, subscribe, and we will catch you for the next one at Hell in a Cell. See ya.
Don't die or you become a zombie.
Yeah, we went out for one day in the woods, essentially.
But we've never actually. Whoa.